If it's one person that I give all praise and respect to in my life, I give all the praise and respect to my father, because my dad is the one person who was always honest with me. My dad said some very harsh things to me, but one thing I can say about my dad, he was honest with me. That's one thing I can say about my dad. My daddy told me from a young age that women wouldn't find me attractive. He told me that bitches wasn't gonna fuck with me. He told me that I would have to have money for a woman to fuck with me. My dad is the one person that I give respect to. I understand now that I'm grown why my mom didn't want me around my father. A lot of these old dumbass bitches, they always try to paint the man as the villain. But, because these stupid ass hoes, they don't want to take accountability for nothing. So that's why they always got to blame the man. My mom always tried to paint my dad to be the bad guy. And I hate that this society is all about the empowerment of women. A lot of these women, especially nowadays, are narcissistic pieces of shit. A lot of these women are. Their standards are too fucking high. They feel they deserve a rich man. They feel they deserve a guy who's very attractive. A lot of women are very narcissistic nowadays. And I don't blame a man for not wanting to approach these stupid ass demons. These are some demons walking around here. My dad was always very transparent with me. And he was letting me know in so many words from the time that I was very young that I was a piece of shit, that I wasn't worth a fuck. My dad was letting me know that I wasn't worth a fuck. Most fathers would never tell their son the type of stuff my father told me. But I thank God for my dad, because he's the one person who kept it real. And that's why my mother didn't want me around my dad, because he's a real type of man. That's why she always tried to paint him to be the bad guy. My daddy told me that I was a piece of shit in so many words. He was right. I hate to say it, but some people should have never been born. Some people would have been better off never coming into this world. If I could ask God one question, I would ask him why the hell he create my pathetic ass. Some people didn't need to be here. They really didn't. And I applaud, you know what? I ain't going to say I applaud, but I sympathize and I understand why people kill themselves. I don't condone it, but I can sympathize and I can understand. It's always good to have a person in your corner who's honest and direct with you. The problem with a lot of parents is they tell a lot of lies. They lie to their children, and that's why their children grow up to be fucked up too. But see, my daddy was always real. He was letting me know, nigga, you ain't shit in so many words. You ain't worth no fuck. And you know what? Some people not worth a fuck in the world. And some people would say, your father was wrong for telling you all the things he told you. No, he wasn't wrong. My daddy pretty much prophesied in my life. He prophesied in my life. His prophecy was fulfilled. My daddy prophesied that I was going to grow up to be a fuck up. And he was right. He was right. I've come to the conclusion that some people in the world were destined to fail. Everybody was not destined to win in life. And, that's just the way the cookie crumbles for some people. I just thank God for my daddy, because he was always honest and very direct with me. But it's crazy how people like to paint the person who telling you the truth to be the villain. you know. Even though my dad has said some very brutal, very harsh things to me, I mean, I can't get mad at him. I can't hold no grudge because my dad was honest, you know. At least I can't say I didn't have a person to warn me, you know. I had somebody to warn me. I had somebody to tell me I was going to grow up to be fucked up. You know, I had somebody to tell me that I was destined to fail, that I wasn't going to be no ladies' man, you know, that bitches wasn't going to want to fuck with me. I'm glad I had a father like the one I had, you know, because one thing I had to understand is that greatness doesn't exist in everybody. Everybody wasn't created to be great. Some people were just created to be fucked up. Some people were created to be fucked up, and some people are destined to be fucked up. You know, and that's the way things are. You know, um, you got some dudes who are just not the business. You know, and it's unfortunate. You know, if I was a father, I would tell my son the same things my daddy told me. I'd tell my son, the only reason why your mother got with me because she saw that she could use me. I would tell my son that when he became a teenager. I would tell him that your father was never a ladies' man. My dad wasn't no ladies' man. So more than likely, you're not going to be one neither. Because like they say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Like my father always told me, you are what you come from. You know, and some people were destined to fail in life. Everybody was not destined to win. You know, and my daddy told me, at least I can't say I didn't have nobody to tell me in my life. You know, I had a man to tell me. You know, I had somebody to tell me that I was going to grow up to be a failure. I had somebody to tell me that I wasn't going to be able to get no pussy, that I was going to be a fuck boy, that I was going to be a ain't shit nigga. I thank God that I had a daddy who was honest and real with me. You know, some people ain't worth a fuck in the world. You know, they really ain't worth no fuck. And I can sympathize with anyone who kills themselves. I feel sorry for them, and my heart goes out to them. God bless you. You know, it's just unfortunate for some people, but everything my father told me manifested. Everything he told me manifested. It came into flourishing. Yep, it came into flourishing. Yep. I had a daddy telling me to reel at a young age. Now, how many niggas can say they had a father telling them the truth about life at a young age? How many Negroes can say they had a father telling them that they was going to be a failure with the ladies? They wasn't going to be able to be no ladies' man. How many dudes can say they had a father telling them that women find you to be ugly? You know, my daddy was giving me the blueprint from the time I was young. That's why it's nothing that a person can tell me, because I got the blueprint young. And that's something that a lot of guys didn't get. A lot of these so-called incels, they didn't get the blueprint young. They didn't have a father to tell them, you a piece of shit. You ain't going to be able to get no hoes. Because my dad didn't tell me I was a piece of shit directly. He told me I was a piece of shit in so many words. That's why he was telling me I'm going to have money for a woman to like me. Yeah, that's why he was telling me that. Because he knew. He knew I wasn't going to be a ladies' man. He knew that I wasn't going to be a hit with the ladies. He knew that I was going to be a fuck up. But the thing that really appalls me, if you a fuck up in life, why do people want to hold you accountable for being a fuck up? That's what I want to know. Why do people want to hold you accountable for being a fuck up? Like it's your fault. I wish I could have been a man like Genuine. a man that a lot of women want to give pussy to. But unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to be a man like that. You know, I wasn't lucky enough to be a Chris Brown. To be a sex god, to be a man that's worth a fuck. That's why I'ma forever give all praise and honor to my daddy. He told me in so many words that I was a piece of shit, and he was right. Thank God that I had a father who was honest and direct with me. It makes a big difference when you have a parent who's honest with you. And that's the one person in my life who always kept it real with me. Yep. Some people ain't shit, and they should have never been here. But on that note, we gonna call it a quit.